but I mean,
She's in the upside down with the Demogorgon. Can't hear that. Nope. Sorry. Should have seen it.
Jamil didn't realize that we were going live.
Oh,
it's cool. It's cool, man. It's fine. Welcome to the Movie Stuff Show. This is interesting. Say hello, Amanda. Yeah, Amanda is upside down, and we can't hear her. So we're gonna do the show this way, and she's gonna chime in the chat, and she should talk. She should still talk, and then comment in the chat of what she just said. She transcribe herself. Hashtag upside down Amanda. Yes.
The show really has just gone off the rails.
You know, at this point, it's 9:20. Yes, Talia. We are quite aware that Amanda is upside down and mute. We are quite aware of that. It's part of the charm. Yeah.
Aaron's a big fan.
Yeah. It's a Tuesday edition of the Movie Stuff Show, so we did that.
We're back on schedule. We were doing it right.
We almost got the 9 p.m.
We had the council back in force. All excited.
You know, Amanda messaged me right before the show. She's like, "Oh, Skype did something." It certainly did. It certainly did. I guess can we parallel this to something in Ant Man and Wasp? Is she in like?
She's in the thing.
The microverse.
Don't say the Phantom Zone. The microverse. She's with the micro machines.
She's down there with the weird little monsters. Where Michelle Pfeiffer ages normally for some reason.
Yeah, I guess so. In the quantum universe, there you
go. Universe. Well, you're safe there. The rest of us are going to dust away, and then you'll be safe.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Damn.
Right off the bat.
Damn. Ant Man and Wasp. Is this the last Marvel movie of the year?
It is.
Yeah.
Well, if we're going to count the Spider-Man comic coming out in December. But as far as the MCU, this last MCU movie.
Last MCU movie of the year. Yep. What do we think, Amanda? No, that's what she thinks about the movie. Okay, we'll move on to Marty. Marty, what do you think about the movie?
I was fine with it. It's kind of not. I don't know if I rank it anywhere as good as the first one. Some of the comedy is the same. I thought Rudd was a little odd in the movie. I think Evangeline Lilly probably the best female performance we've seen so far in a Marvel movie. I really enjoyed her. Michael Douglas was really off for some reason in this movie. It's like he thinks he can just kind of show up and overact and be weird in these movies because it's Marvel, I guess, or something. But villain stuff is usual Marvel. You know, we kind of see their points. So it's a villain that's not really a bad person, but doing the things because they have to. So it's kind of the same old story they've done for a while. And then I enjoyed how they led it into what we saw in Avengers at the end. So it fit well in where we're at now in Marvel, as far as the tone was a little brighter than how we ended Avengers. And it kind of, it sets us up. It kind of, now we can rest for a little while. We don't get into the movie, like you said, till probably March. I think we don't get into the movie.
Marvel, right?
Yeah, February, March. So it was a nice little placeholder. It could have come a little later in the year farther from Avengers maybe, but it was fine. Like I said, it was like, me and Jamil talking. It's kind of like, just the same way I felt about Han Solo. It's fine. It was, it doesn't ruin anything. It doesn't affect the world all that much, but it was an enjoyable time at the movies.
Amanda's disagreeing. She's saying Paul Rudd is perfect. Right?
I won't take that bad.
Take that back. And with the Technobabble that bad, it makes me wish that the ants were like puppets. I love those ants. I like the ant playing drums.
Yeah, less ants in this movie, really. Because, the Wasp kind of does her own thing. She doesn't need help from anybody. And then in the first movie,
There
where
was a lot
like,
of seagulls flying around, Marty.
a lot of scenes was fine. But it seems like Paul Rudd had more of a personal relationship with the ants in the first one, and this one was just like, all right, whatever ant's nearby, I'm gonna jump on it and go.
Well, it's weird, right? Because I was thinking about this. It's really two different technologies they put together. Like controlling ants has nothing to do with turning small. It's something I realized while watching this movie. Like those two things are not really.
Just because I'm small, I can control ants now.
Yeah, like it's weird, right? Like it's really strange now that I think about it. Like they just put those two things together, but they don't have to be together. Like if you can control rats, you don't turn into a rat. Anyway.
Well, the thing is, he's choosing to control ants, right? It's not necessarily it's not a symbiotic. It's just that's their choice, right? Because ants are strong or something. Isn't that how they explained it?
I guess.
Ants are all girls.
Oh my God!
Amanda!
Hey, I've been
Somehow it was on
this whole
point too. It
time.
wasn't cursed. It wasn't oh fuck these guys. It was right on point.
The ants are all girls. That's why they have ants in this movie so that Marvel can meet their quota.
She is still upside down, but this is amazing. We can hear her.
I'm working on it.
I still
The
don't think it passes
Skype
the
moved
Bechdel.
all of the menu settings, so I couldn't find any of the. Like it's all hidden and clean and slick, so it's really hard to find anything. Upside down is fine though, right?
Upside down is fine. We can
It's
hear
fine.
you.
It's
Yeah.
fine.
Listen,
Okay.
this is progress. Okay, Amanda.
Yeah.
What did you think of the movie?
I did not think of the movie because Paul Rudd was in it. So I'm going to be perfectly honest about that. But it was really enjoyable. So
Jamil.
It was okay. Look, at this point, that's all I can say. Put it this way: I watched this movie and I haven't thought about it since I watched it. And that's not a knock against the movie. I enjoyed it. My son enjoyed it. It's just okay. Like I don't know. It does. The problem is Marvel has set up the expectation that all these movies mean something, but this one doesn't. It means absolutely nothing. It's just a nice, fun romp. It was nice to see all these characters again. That's about it,
It's entertaining. Listen, it's an entertaining movie, and I mean, I actually like that. I mean, it's just its own thing. It's weird. It's I enjoyed the action. I thought the action stuff was
Action is
was
so funny.
really fun. The chase scenes, the fight scenes. I mean, some really fun stuff. I like the other bad guy in it, not the
Which is like three or it's like
the
Walter Goggins, you mean?
Walton Goggins. I mean, I
Yeah.
love Walton Goggins.
yeah.
He's
He was
just-
a little misused here. I thought. I don't know.
No, I don't think so. I think I think they used him just right. Like he's a weird guy and he plays Slimy really well.
He's good, but this is my thing. They keep wasting these great actors on these one-off roles. It would be nice if Walter Goggins or Lauren Fishburne could have been like somebody
Yeah.
else more important. Because like I love to have Lauren Fishburne in the Marvel universe, but maybe not as second-rate Giant Man. Like I'm just it would be nice to have.
Maybe he could be Perry White.
Well, that was the thing. I thought they were going to go with that, or make him the big bad behind it all. But then he just kind of,
see, I was hoping
Wanted to
Michelle
help her,
Pfeiffer
but-
would be the bad guy.
yeah, they teased that a little bit, where she's like, I'm not the same, and evolution. Then she just comes back and she has
Quantum
kind
healing
of
powers.
some kind of healing power, and then she's just gone again. So
Like dust in the wind. So yeah,
I knew they would. I knew they had to do that. It was pretty
Yeah.
obvious. It was interesting to see who they chose. Again, my theory of the numbers don't add up. If half the universe is getting cut, 3 people standing together probably shouldn't all be gone. That's just my
time out. That's your problem, not the giant purple man with the nut chin.
Well,
But
if I'm buying into his world and his theories, I gotta, I'm fine with that, but have it make some sense there.
You want me to run the actuarials on
I
whether or not
do.
3 people next to each other would disappear? Because
I
it's
do.
not that bad.
Yeah.
Do you know any people who have 3 boys as sons?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, it's about as likely
I
as
don't
that.
know. I don't though. So there you go.
You don't? Okay, well then.
What about 3 girls and 1 boy? Do you know anybody like that, Marty?
Dan was gonna
Yeah.
have 3 kids, then he went and chopped it off. So
Wow.
Up there.
Wow.
I know. 2
Spoilers.
boys, 1 girl. That's all I know.
Yes, I'm now a eunuch, is what he's saying.
Yes.
That's like I literally chopped off my.
Corridor.
Yeah.
That's not Coke, actually. That's saltpeter. He's been drinking this for the last 2 years.
Okay, if we're going to be
That's it.
completely off topic, then I have a question
off topic,
for
Spider Girl. Yeah.
I've got an on-topic question for Jamil.
Yes.
Regarding the closing credit sequence where they did sort of, I mean, it was probably all just computer animation, but it was set up as though it was like action figure macro shots. And I was wondering if you had an opinion on that, or if you had any inspiration or like something you want to try out, because I know that that's kind of a hobby of yours, which is like it's mostly really, really cool. Every now and then I'm like, what the hell are you doing? And then I'm like, no, this is still mostly legit.
They definitely using a lot better camera than I'm using. I can tell you that. They're using a really good camera, and they have a lot more money for their But no, it was done really well. Between this and the Steve Carell movie, like action figure photography is about to take off. I'm telling you guys.
Okay.
But no, it was done really well. That's the first thing I thought about. Like, ooh. I wonder who had this job. I need to find out how I get this job.
I mean, that's the first thing I thought of too, is how do I get Jamil this job?
Because like if you give me the money and the equipment, I can make amazing stuff. But no, seriously though, it was awesome that they did that. It was it's that one little step of detail that they didn't have to do that they did, that I really appreciate. Not just because it's something I do, just because measures. How about we do this? And it was really cool.
Can we talk about the de-aging technology now that they always use in these movies?
Yes, let's. I want to talk about that.
Can we just go back to using younger actors and just suspend disbelief?
No, you see, my opinion is completely opposite.
Lawrence Fishburne's face was fucked up.
No, it wasn't.
It was fucking weird.
Now, I will say, it didn't look like young Lawrence Fishburne. I will say that.
Or young Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah, exactly. I was just about to say that. But Michael Douglas and Michelle Pfeiffer looked surprisingly good.
I was wondering if that had to do with the amount of
classic
old film footage. Wow.
The footage that they have of these actors, though.
Right, because you could probably almost like train like a neural network or big science computer words to do it for you. Something.
I thought the Kurt Russell one was pretty good. And,
you gotta train the quantum computers on the vintage footage of the guys, and you gotta stick the healing factor into the threshold thing, and you gotta hit all the switches at the same time, guys.
It's very Westworld. Very, very Westworld. They're testing for fidelity. Well, look, I looked at that. I was like, you know what? You could just have Harrison Ford play Han Solo. Why not? Like, you could just de-age them.
You could just have Harrison Ford as an old man play Han Solo as a young man, and I wouldn't care.
Him and Billy D. Williams. I would completely went with it. Like, yeah, okay. And somebody would ask me, I'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about. They look fine to me. But no, like, I think they're almost there. I think you could almost replace actors. We ain't quite there yet, but give about another 10 years. You might be able to do this. You really might.
Oh, this got dark fast.
Not replace them like, you know what I mean.
One of the best things I saw on YouTube the other day was there's a wrestling league. Wrestling. I don't know where it is. It's not like New Japan or anything like that. But there's a wrestler that acts and looks like Michael Jackson, and his finishing move is this moonwalking DDT.
I seen that. It's lovely.
It's amazing. It's amazing. So all I keep thinking about is, we're this close to having actual Michael Jackson,
wrestling.
This close. It's actually bringing back Michael Jackson to be a wrestler and do that moonwalking DDT. It's fantastic.
Oh, they kind of started this shit in music with the hologram performances,
Well, Tupac,
and everyone thought that was weird. And now we're just de-aging Michael Douglas. Not even de-aging him that much. They only dropped like I guess 20 years off them.
Yeah, about
it wasn't
15,
like much.
Yeah. It's supposed to be what Basic Instinct Michael Douglas. If my timeline is right,
yeah.
if my timeline is correct, it's basic. It's supposed to be Basic Instinct Michael Douglas. And I don't know what movie Michelle Pfeiffer will be doing then, but it's supposed to be what
probably Batman Returns, right?
Yeah, but then it kind of seems like
91, 92. Yeah,
it seems like they aged Michelle Pfeiffer a little bit when she comes back though, because I don't know if she looks that.
They
old
did.
yet.
They did make her look older. I personally, I like Michael Douglas' idea. They probably just should have used Captain Zeta-Jones. I don't know why they didn't. That would have made sense. She looks more like the actress than Michelle Pfeiffer does.
Yeah.
Do we agree that this is better than the first Ant Man movie, though? If we're ranking them, I think so. I think this is more enjoyable than the Ant Man movie. These movies are just so they're not. Man, I find it hard to just fit them into the rest of the Marvel Cinematic Universe because they don't take themselves too seriously. They're not supposed to take themselves so seriously, and because of that, I think they're on a different grading plane for me than something like Civil War or Avengers. I think the expectations of those movies and the goals and the loftiness of these movies put them at a tougher grading level than something like Ant Man. Like this, I find this enjoyable. I find Thor Ragnarok incredibly enjoyable. I've watched that probably like 4 times. I can't believe I've watched Thor Ragnarok 4 times. It's hard for me to admit that.
Excuse me. Dan, are you trying to say the movies that's not concerned with the overall continuity can be really enjoyable? What a shock!
This one does fuck with this one. Keeps in line with it because he's on house arrest because of Civil War. They don't like him, and he hasn't talked to these two for 2 years because of that, and they hate him.
But I mean, that's the same thing as saying that the Incredible Hulk is in outer space because of the events of Avengers 2. I mean, that's how you're loosely tying these movies together. Yes, they're going to tie into the bigger universe. They have to, I guess. But in essence, like, they did their own fucking thing. Like, apparently, because this is out in San Francisco, right?
Yeah.
This shit's going on.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It was filmed in Atlanta. I just want to let you.
We're living in the movie.
I'm just saying it's weird. Like y'all, it's weird, y'all. It's weird. Just for me, I want to go out on a tangent. It's weird to see, like, hey, there's Peachtree. Then they're in San Francisco. It's really weird, like how they turn the corner and they magically, and it's just really okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry,
but
it was disconcerting.
In movie geography, they're out in San Francisco, and on the other side of the United States, at the same exact time, Thanos is fucking up New York.
Well, Thanos is people.
Thanos' people.
I'm not sure if it's the same exact time.
They don't. Be right around the same time, though. It's got to be
because we don't know about how far the movie and then the end credit. We don't know what the time distance is between then. Because the end credit scene,
if they're starting to fade away, then at that point,
the end credit scene is.
But Thanos has been at least in Wakanda at that time.
They might be working. The thing they're working on might be the thing they think is going to help, or, so they can explain it that way.
Yeah, I don't know. But I don't know. Here they are.
I was talking to our friend Nick about it. He thinks that him being in the whatever we said quantum zone is going to be attacked. He's going to go find everybody else in there, and that's going to bring it all back. But I just don't think they're going to add this much weird science shit to the Avengers where people have to.
Yeah, I don't think. You know what? I love those type of theories because like these are some comic book movies. But when people start to bring in their own theories, it's way more wilder than what they'll ever fucking do. Yeah. Like no, none of that's gonna happen. They're gonna get the gauntlet and someone gonna snap them all back into existence. Ant-Man might get free. Ant-Man gonna come in the last third of Avengers and save everybody. Paul Rudd is gonna be the hero of Avengers 4.
See, Amanda would like that. Amanda would really like that. And so Robert Mayo is asking, is this a movie about Paul Rudd being Paul Rudd? It's about Paul Rudd slapping the bass.
Well, there is drumming.
Slapping the bass, man.
Well, you on house arrest for 2 years. You gotta do something with your time. So you might always slap your bass.
Did we like the kind of weird FBI character kind of shit?
Well, he's from a TV show, right? He's
off the boat.
Fresh off the boat.
Fresh off the boat, right?
If that's still
I like
on
him. I like their interactions. He's a little too silly and goofy at times, but I liked it.
You're FBI.
Like at the end where he's like, he's talking about so I really don't have anything going on for dinner tonight. I mean.
It just seems like if you're talking about they're keeping an Avenger on watch, it seems like there'd be more of a team on that than just fucking branch.
I was thinking that. I was like, you know what? I'm pretty sure. Look, if the FBI can watch black people 24/7 during the civil rights movement, I'm pretty sure they would have somebody watching Paul Rudd 24/7.
Yeah, they wouldn't be fooled by the we put it on the ant. It's fine. It's like, all
Listen,
right.
it's white privilege. It's not like they're also, if Black Panther was here, they'd have like 5 guys.
Falcon's in the lock and key. They got him. He's not doing anything.
Ant Man, they're like, he's cool. He's only an ex-criminal, by the way, but he's white.
Yeah,
So it's fine.
a felon on top of that, a felon on, you know.
Yeah.
But
How about Michael Pena and the ex-con storyline?
Oh,
I mean,
he's great. He's
It's silly, but it was fun.
Yeah.
I
kind of the same
how
thing
it
as
played
last
out.
week.
And, but it played out really well. You know, they were setting up for that the whole time, and you know, all those guys are just goofy. It's a goofy movie. It's a fun, goofy movie. It's one of those things. If you're not, too into these superhero movies, I think it's a really good entry point. If you would not an entry point, but a good, like, you can watch this on TV.
Yeah, you don't have to know all the past 10 movies, and you don't even have to watch Ant Man 1 really that much. I mean,
not at all. Is your kid in the background wearing the same headphones as you, Jamil?
No, that's my niece.
Oh, okay.
That's my niece. She's visiting us. My apologies.
No.
She don't understand the whole filming thing.
It's cool.
And are those still Christmas lights in the back there? Or?
Those are. I'm trying to contact Amanda in the Upside Down.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I'm joking. I actually run a bordello during the day, and this is for the ambiance for the ladies.
During the day, thankfully, because you have kids walking around at nighttime right now, and it's just not a good look, Jamil. Not a good look. So I don't think we've actually talked about the overall plot of the movie. Marty, you want to just give a quick plot kind of rundown of what this is?
Yeah, well, like
about?
as I
I'm
mentioned,
very interested in this because I've already forgotten what even happened.
Yeah, so as I said, we find Scott back in on house arrest because of what he did Civil War.
Wait, Scott, is that Paul Rudd?
Paul Rudd.
That's Paul Rudd.
Okay.
Scott Paul Ant-Man.
Scott Baio.
So he's on house arrest. He hadn't seen anybody for 2 years. He hadn't seen Evangeline Lilly or Michael Douglas, and so the whole time he's in house arrest, they're working on this project to save Michelle Pfeiffer from the Phantom Zone, Dark Zone, the place where Ant-Man went in the first one at the end. And they showed the scene again where they got stuck in there because they had to save. Did they explain in the first one? I forgot what atomic bomb they dismantled that this all happened.
No.
Yeah, I forgot what that was.
You know what? That's my biggest problem with this movie. The one thing that irks the shit out of me is the fact of why is Hank Pym and whatchamacallit on the run? What the fuck did they do?
Well,
on the run?
Yeah, they're because Ant-Man used their tech in the when
they violated the Sokovia Accords.
They violated the Sokovia Accords.
Oh, okay, cool. He used the tech. They didn't have shit to do with it. He stole the suit and did it on his own. Why would they implement them? No, they wasn't. That was the point. They wasn't though. That's the point. He stole the suit.
I thought that's what the guy said.
It makes no sense because they said they had nothing to do with it. So they said he went on his own. So why are they in trouble? It's just like it. It made no sense, and it irked the shit out of me that they was in trouble for him stealing the suit.
I mean, it's a stretch, but I could see it along the lines of, okay, now you have to turn your technology over to us because it now falls under our jurisdiction, and you can see Michael Douglas being like, "Fuck you,"
That's what they should
have said. Pym was enough of a jerk that I could see him actually being in trouble for something else and just telling his daughter that this was the reason they had to keep running. Because they keep running into people who are like, no, legit, your dad's an asshole, sweetheart.
Yeah, I thought they were going to go the same way they kind of did with Thor and Black Panther, where it's like, oh, your dad's not as, was the bad guy actually the whole time. They didn't go quite as far as that, but like you said, every time they're running somebody, it's like, no, your dad fucked me over one way or another. And he always had some kind of excuse, but it wasn't really that good an excuse. But so that one of the people he fucked over was the father of I guess the main villain we're going to call. and this kind of Ava, or they called it her actually only real name in the movie was Ghost as her her villain name. So her dad got into the quantum explosion problem, I guess. Is that what we saw there? And instead of dying, she got this weird power where her cells tear apart every 5 minutes, something.
She's like Shadow Kitty, but it sucks, is what I gathered.
So she needs to get back the mom too, because she can steal something from her to bring her back.
Her quantum absorbed healing power. Come on, keep this shit straight. It makes perfect sense.
No one knows if any of this shit will actually ever work, but of course it does, because that's what the movie's about. And then Lawrence Fishburne plays Michael Douglas's old partner, and they had a falling out, and he's secretly helping the Ghost character because he felt guilty, and we don't know if he's actually bad for a minute or two, but then it turned out he's not. And the kid's still hanging around, and the ex-wife and the Bobby Cannavale are still around, and now Bobby Cannavale just hugs Paul Rudd every 5 minutes. That's his only real part of the movie. And then everything happens, and Walter Goggins plays like an arms dealer of some kind. Never really explained.
And a restaurant owner. And he needs the tech too, because the tech's just worth money. It's no real nefarious reasons for it. He just wants it for money. And so the whole movie is just kind of chase.
Oh my gosh, you're making this sound so boring.
Right?
Talk about when they chase them with the Hot Wheels, and they have the building that shrinks, and
when Paul Rudd takes off his shirt. All right,
he does.
Wants to talk about Paul Rudd.
Wait.
Oh yes, he did.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Paul Rudd ripped than I thought he was. Yeah.
There was a tub scene.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Where he had to keep his foot out of the tub.
Yeah.
See?
Oh, and then there was a little kid Paul Rudd scene.
Don't forget the magic subplot about learning magic to entertain your kids.
Pretty amazing.
Yes, that was.
But that actually paid off.
Yeah. The whole thing was about misdirection, which I bet was the whole point of this movie, was that we're, missing the big picture by being distracted by Thanos or something.
And drumming ants.
Yeah. I was so angry that post-credit scene wasn't Hawkeye.
No, second it's goofy.
I was waiting for Hawkeye to walk up to the control panel and be like, well, they're all gone now. And he's been watching the whole time. His mission was to babysit Ant Man. And that's why he's been busy. But never mind. Headcanon. Where is Hawkeye?
Who cares?
I guess, if Scott's, if Ant-Man was under house arrest, I guess the idea would be he was also under house arrest.
But why? I'm sorry. I want my threads all closed. They don't have to be sewn off perfectly. I just,
Well, he'll either disappear in...
My concern is that these movies weren't thoroughly user acceptance tested. And that we're just not... We've missed some details, is what I'm saying.
He's in Avengers 4. Just what the hell he's been doing this whole time. Maybe he'll pop up in Captain Marvel. I guess that would be the next logical place for him to be.
He's in Captain Marvel and he disappears in a post-credit scene there. Or he's just in Avengers 4. I think
he's in Avengers 4.
The original Avengers seem to not die.
Yeah.
The math equation. That doesn't make sense.
Well, technically, Ant-Man doesn't die. So
True, because he was in the zone.
Okay, so you have that after credits, where Evangeline Lilly disappears and Hank Pym disappears and all that, right? And then
Pfeiffer.
And then at the very end of the movie, after the drumming ant, it says Ant Man and Wasp will return. Like, oh.
No, they
with a question mark.
Like who the hell you fool?
Come
on. They've been trying really hard in the last couple, after Avengers and all that shit. When everyone said, "Oh, of course," they tried really hard not to put out quotes saying, "Hey, no, everyone's really dead."
But it's impossible.
The next Spider-Man's in a different. No, but they're saying the next Spider-Man's in a different time, fucking realm in London or something, before Avengers, some shit. Well, at least they're lying about that as such. So
You know, Black Panther 2 is going to star Shuri and not Black Panther. Look,
yeah, they're saying anybody can be Black Panther. It doesn't have to be that person.
It's all bullshit.
Yeah, it's all bullshit, but they're trying their best.
Well, you see, this is my opinion on this whole thing. You ain't gotta say nothing. These movies make billions of dollars. No, most of these people don't fucking read the shit like we do. They don't know or care. They're like, oh, look at that, a new Spider-Man movie. Like, they don't. Most people don't know. My kid doesn't know that there's a Spider-Man movie coming out next year. He's 10. He don't read the trades.
Trades.
You don't read Vanity Fair. You don't read the Hollywood Reporter.
Trades out on the trolley, just
Yeah.
For Christmas this year, Jamil's getting his son a subscription to Entertainment Weekly.
Hollywood Reporter.
It's like, here, son. Here's the internet. Here's Anical News.
No, hell no.
I don't think it's around anymore. Is Anical News still a thing?
Yes. Yeah. If that site still look like it's from 1997, like all that popularity, all that money he made, and he did not think not once to update that site in 20 years.
I thought his assault stuff killed the site. Then he had his quote unquote sister running the site for a while.
You know, it's funny. Just to touch on this, it's funny how really ugly, how really nerdy dudes turn out to be perverts, but nobody wants to say that out loud because then it seems wrong that you're judging people by their looks. I'm just saying, Harvey Weinstein, all these dudes, you can tell none of these dudes got pussy when they was younger. That's all I'm saying. Most of them. That's all I'm saying. And then they got power and money, and they gonna use it. That's all I'm saying. I'm gonna be quiet. See, I'm gonna get in trouble. But I'm just saying, look at them.
We are reaching the Jamil rant time of the show.
No, I'm done. Don't rant this. I promised myself I wouldn't rant.
Jamil's almost doing profiling over there.
Oh, definitely. I don't care. I care about profile. What are you gonna do? Call me racist?
Jamil, I'm sure you've never felt profiling at all, so I don't think you have any expertise or any knowledge of that.
No, not one bit. No.
Surprisingly, these Marvel movies have kind of survived scandals. It's like, you would think something this large with 20 different.
Definitely, I was pretty sure by now Jerry Reynolds or someone would accuse him of grabbing the ass back in the day at some point, but not even him.
Off, I bet.
Oh yeah. Look, you see what happened? Look, I'm surprised they ain't stepped in with Stan Lee. I think they just should just take Stan Lee, because that's what I assumed.
Oh, there was an accusation against him. Actually, it was the the nursing home or something. He was hitting on nurses or being inappropriate, but that kind of went away.
Well, yeah, it went away because then they started saying that he was getting abused in the nursing home too. Yeah.
Well, my point of view, and this is not a popular point of view. That man's wife just died. He got $20 million in the bank. Of course, he tried to get a blowjob by a nurse. I would too if I was 95 years old and I had 2 years to live. I'm just being honest. Seriously, what the fuck else you gonna do? Excelsior, I give you 10,000 to blow me. Yeah, of course.
That's not a T-shirt. I don't know what we're doing here.
It's at this time that I'm glad that his niece is no longer in the room.
Oh, I never would have said this with her.
Well, she had the headphones on too.
But no,
listening to the show, of course.
Oh, yeah, that's a problem.
Y'all, the show is up here now.
No one watches this show. Come on.
This is actually probably right now we have the most viewers going right now that we've had.
I'm so sorry. I'm not on the show every week, so you don't have to worry about me. Just.
Upside Down on Amanda and Jamil get us ratings. I hope you realize that.
Yeah.
And
it's very avant-garde, her being upside down. But no,
I could just turn all of us upside down. She could be right side up. I could just do that.
I tried to turn myself upside down earlier. It didn't occur to me to try to turn my laptop upside down.
That's what I was saying. Just turn the computer around, and I was scoffed at.
Look, she's about to... Holy shit, that worked. I can see up your nose. Whoa, whoa! Hey.
She got the Jamil close up.
It's not quite as flattering.
There you go.
There you go.
That's how Nick always looks on the show for some reason.
Yeah, it's perfect.
You discovered the secret is his computer's upside down. Well,
You see, but you know what? Though, see what
The
happened.
low-tech solution. Low-tech solutions always work.
Oh! Look at that, guys. You know what? No, you know what? That's how like non-essential this movie is. We doing shit like this.
yeah.
That's pretty much it. We're at this point. We're at the point. We got 5 minutes left to talk on the show, and there's really not much to talk about of this movie.
My husband and I remarked on the way home that there was a missed opportunity for an uncertainty principle joke. You know, they're saying all this quantum stuff, and they kept saying they had to find the Wasp's location in quantum space, but they didn't say, but if we find her precise location, we'll never know how fast she's going. So,
That was the fun thing too. It was like, oh, if you don't find her in the next, what was it, an hour or something, or 10 minutes,
yeah,
you won't find her again for another million years. Like, all right.
yeah. But yeah, so that was a missed joke. All that quantum, and they didn't have any H bars, so.
And then there was weird monsters or just glue things that'll eat you. Maybe.
I was very upset that there were physical things you could run into in quantum space. It should have been much trippier, like
Scott
Dr.
Bakula should have been in there.
It felt trippier in the last movie when he was in it. It was more
they kind of got lazy, I feel.
Well, you know, I feel the same way about Doctor Strange, where like, you know, Ant Man and Doctor Strange, they lend themselves to the weird, and I feel like Disney just don't go weird enough as they should with these movies. You know,
Guardians of the Galaxy hasn't gone weird as they should have with these. With
like
Galaxy's movie, that like I was expecting when they said the director of the first Guardians of the Galaxy, who's worked in Trauma, and it's just holy shit, that's gonna be a fucking bizarre movie. Disney's like, we'll push the envelope like this far into weirdness, but
they think talking rocket, the talking raccoon and the tree thing, that's weird for them. So that's enough. And then I mean they didn't go full out with Kurt Russell either with the planet thing, and they just kind of made that normal.
One of my favorite things is in Infinity War when Doctor Strange had like the 40 hands come out at once. I like, you know what? That should have been a Doctor Strange movie. The whole Doctor Strange movie should have been weird, just like that.
Well, now he's dead, so.
Oh yeah. He's dead. He's never coming back. He's never. Robert Downey, look. Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. too is never coming back. Nope, not at all.
Well, I actually think he'll be done after the next movie. Him, Thor, Captain America. I think they're done in their current, in that actor for a while. So whatever happens,
we have X-Men.
Yeah, so whatever happens, they kill themselves to bring everybody else back or some shit like that. They're also talking again about a Black Widow movie. I just don't know who wants that.
What? This is the thing. Everybody keeps saying they want a Black Widow movie. You know how boring that shit will really be? It ain't got nothing to do with her being a woman. It's like I don't want a Hawkeye movie either. Like, it'd just be a spy movie. It wouldn't be anything.
Like, Civil War is on TV now. I was watching it again the other day, and she's just bad in that movie. She's just offers like just weird the entire time. Her acting is just odd. She's like just walks around scared the entire movie for some reason.
She has not been good. I mean, the first.
She was good in the Iron Man.
She was good in the Iron Man one, and then the first Avengers she was pretty good, and then from that point on, it's just been this drop off of like.
Yeah. I think she's got a little bit of the Captain Janeway curse, where she's being written unevenly because a lot of the time she has to be the woman on the team. And so, like, she ends up doing things that don't necessarily seem consistent just because she's the only girl there.
Yeah, I could totally.
No, but even when they added the witch one, and
she actually never mind. She has the same problem too.
Yeah, but they did. It seemed like
all these ladies
their
just
characters
have
never
identity
changed.
crisis.
Yeah,
she's just always on her period.
Yeah, she was in love with Hulk for a little while, and nothing.
Amanda said it. We didn't. The women said it. We did not say it.
Every single one of these critical events in the earth just happens during menstrual cycle. Like, that's it. It's the curse of the menstrual cycle. Thanos
to be honest,
come to Earth when Black Widow's on her period.
Okay, if they added that scene where she's like, I can't believe this shit keeps happening during like this 1 week of the month, like that would explain so much. And also, I would go from being like, man, you don't make any sense, to being like, girl, yes, me too, same. Like, it would just add so much to her as a character. If, actually, now I'm wondering, are there any movies where female characters admit that they're on their cycle? I'm looking this up right now.
I mean, it's always, I don't know if it's them doing it or it's like the asshole husband does it. Also, did anyone see this movie in Dolby?
No.
But like 20% of movies should be like that.
No, because the thing is that it's supposed to be, just because a woman on her period don't mean she's emotionally unstable at all, because they don't want to give that perception that women are hormonal during their periods.
Well, right, but I'm just thinking statistically, like 20% of movies should be like, that should be a minor plot point. Because, like, I don't know, you got 4 women in a movie, one of them should be on their period.
Maybe, unless they're all closely together and they've now shared.
Oh my god!
Cycle.
Yeah. Look, this may sound sexist. I never want to hear about a women's period in a movie. I don't give a fuck what type of movie it is. I never want to look. Look, I feel about period the same way I feel about people using the bathroom. I don't want to hear about it. It don't make me sexist. It don't make me sexist. I just don't want to hear about your bloody uterus. I'm sorry. If that makes
I don't want to hear about it either, to be fair.
If that makes me sexist,
you and me both.
If that makes me
not really.
Guys, I think that's it. I don't know.
I don't know how you come back to that.
Amanda brought this up. Do not put this on me.
She brought it up. You brought it home, though.
Yeah. All right. No. This is good. We workshopped the idea a little bit. And we've come to the conclusion that no, it wouldn't improve anything.
I'd hear a top 5.
I'm glad. No, I'm glad that we could talk about it.
They shouldn't say it outright, but she should always want chocolate. Like just through the whole movie, she just constantly. But no one never talks about it. She just constantly in the background eating chocolate. They come up like, what? Oh, I'm sorry. Like they just don't even mention it. She just always eating chocolate.
It's a fight scene. She's grabbing her stomach. Like, did you just get kicked?
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, guys.
I was going to mention about how in my theater they gave out these little magnifying glasses, but then you guys started up here.
I didn't go to a fancy theater.
It came with the Clifton one.
I didn't go to that one. I went to the other Clifton one.
They gave it out with a little micro comic.
Oh, look at that.
You can go like this.
All right. Well, unless Jamil wants to rant about Monique a little bit, let's close that episode.
We got to find a movie with Monique on her period.
I do actually have to say something about that. Okay, I think her career is officially over with.
Okay.
Because Tyler Perry was nice to call her to try to smooth things over, and that bitch released the audio. I'm like, oh, that's it. Like he one of the most powerful people in Hollywood. Who the fuck ever gonna call you? Damn,
listen,
no.
There's going to be a Monique Roseanne buddy comedy show.
Yes.
You know what? We never talked about that. I just want to say when I wrote that,
we brought it up.
Yeah, I seen that. I know Marty took had a kick. He reshared it. He had a kick out of it. Look, I wrote it the night before. Okay, I wrote it the night before, and then she said it, and I was just like, "Goddamn you, Roseanne," because I've been defending Roseanne this whole time. Like not defending her because I know she's kind of crazy, but I was just like the show itself because people was taking it out on the show a little bit. But no, the show itself is really good. You know what I'm saying? Like that little bit of crazy helps. Then she. Well,
the show is coming back as just the Connors.
Oh God, it's gonna be so terrible.
And she's gonna have a show probably on Fox or something competing against it. It's just gonna be horrible.
Look,
Monique.
I'm gonna tell you something. Well, all these people they Xing out of Hollywood. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, right? But they're gonna learn real quick. That talent is just not replaceable as you think it is. You know what I'm saying? Like you think you can just replace Roseanne from that show. You can't. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna learn
they'll get one season, 10 episodes or something. That'll be it.
Yeah, but
I mean they had to pay all those people anyway. I'm sure they had them under contract. So I was like,
God, it was so good. John Goodman had one of his best acting scenes I've ever seen, and that's saying something in like the series finale. and her dumb ass go say something stupid.
Again.
Oh God. And it's weird too because she's so socially progressive. Like I learned to like gay people because of her. She was the first show I seen with like a bunch of gay people on it, and it wasn't weird. You know what I'm saying? I learned that from her. Like, and, you know, she brought up these issues of racism. She hired all these black people to consult on her show, and then she gonna call a black woman a monkey. I don't get her. I don't.
She thought she was white, so. She never explained the anti-Semitic remarks, but she did explain that one.
And she part Jewish. Like, you know, like I don't get Roseanne. I'm not even sure she's racist. I just think she's crazy. I really do.
You forced the man to back upside down.
I mean, I would fire her. Don't get me wrong. I would fire her too, but I don't know she's racist. I just think Roseanne nuts. And
she's just an asshole. That's all.
Yeah. Okay, I'm done.
All right, let's close out another episode of the Movie Stuff Show. We'll be back next week to talk about the top 5 movies about women with periods. Let's make sure to like and subscribe to this video. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook at Movie Stuff Show. You can find Amanda on Instagram. You can find Jamil back on Twitter.
Jamil's back on Twitter.
Back on Twitter.
Me and Amanda had a speech of how, like, you know what? I'm not going to engage in none of that political stuff. Within a day, I called Donald Trump dumbass, a dumb fuck. I think I did. Yeah.
That's
yeah.
fine.
Dumbass would have been light for you, Jamil. I would have been disappointed.
Well, look. Hey, look. I'm scared after what happened to Scott Colbert. I'm actually kind of terrified that they're gonna show up at my house. So I'm trying to take it easy.
I don't think Trump would risk coming down to Atlanta.
No.
Arizona is a much easier trip for him to.
Arizona, Montana.
You know. Atlanta, I don't know about that. Yeah. All right. Thanks, everyone. I'm glad Amanda was able to speak, and we eventually had her right side up.
We would not silence women on this show. #feminism.
Bye, everyone.
Peace.